Queens, welcome to today's video and welcome to my channel. So we are moving on, and today we are still in part 1, and we are still talking elements and factors that made you who you are as a woman. So we are talking elements that can influence you as a woman, that can make you or break you as a woman, and you need to know who you are. What makes you to be who you say you are? Is who you are helping you to grow, or is who you are, disadvantaging you in a way, not helping you to become who you are, your authentic self, right? So today we are covering number 3 of part 1, right? Number 3 of part 1 is families. So on my last video, I did talk about what we are going to cover today. So we are talking families and yourself. Why are we talking about families? Remember that we are not an island. We are with other people. We are interacting with families. Families sometimes and most of the time makes us who we are. And this is the reason why we're talking about families today. However, where families are, there can be growth and there can be disadvantage, situations that can put you in a place where you never thought. Remember that when it comes to families are people that we trust, right? And most of the time we are going to do as families does. We're going to listen to what they say we should do. They're going to be our role model. We're going to look up to them. But most of the time, whatever that we want to become, come to haunt us. Especially things that we have adopted from our families. So as a woman, you need to learn that. Sometimes there can be things that you have learned from your family that is very disadvantageous when it comes to your growth, when it comes to your development, when it comes to your transformation. And you might be wondering, why am I like this? Why are these things happening in my life? Without even thinking back and realize that this thing happened to me when I was young. I had my mom, my father, my brother, my aunt says this, and now I'm living that. Meaning I have adopted what they said, and now I have made it mine, and I'm living it. So there are families that motivate the other parts of the families to do good. And there are also families that may not motivate you to do good as a woman. Some might do it deliberately, and some might not be aware that that's what they are doing. Sometimes being overprotective as a family can put one member of the family in an advantageous position rather. So as a family, and as we as women living with our families, because we cannot live without them, we need to understand that there are times where these families can make us and can break us. So sometimes when you see that your life is not going to the direction that you want, and you are unable to fix challenges that you come across in your life, look back, think back, know who you are in terms of your family. What kind of family do you have? What have you learned from your family? Is it something good that you have learned? Were you able to think back and see if you have learned something from your family that you are now living in your present moment? These are things that we never thought of much. We don't give these things a thought. because we are living our lives as it is. And there's a lot of influences that can contribute to who you are as a woman. Some women living the life that their parents have lived, especially mothers. You are living the life that your mother lived because you were modeling your mother. You adopted what your mother used to be. You loved what your mother is or used to be. And now you took that and you have made it yours. You are living it. But you need to also learn to assess things, assess your mother's behavior, whether it was a good behavior or not so good, whether your mom, what you took from your mom is something that you want to carry out and you want to see your children also live it. Remember that our mothers also have a past. As much as sometimes we blame them, yes, it's because of you that I turn out to be like this. Yes, no, they have their own past. And they were also informed by their own past. So the way that they bringing you up is how they know how. They are trying their best to make you the woman that you are. It's not their aim to break you, but sometimes their teachings can break you. So we are living in a time where things have changed. As children of today, women of today, we are wiser. You can question things, You can find out. You can even find out what motivated your mother to be who she is, instead of you adopting who she is, thinking that it's a good way of life. And because you are adopting that, thinking that it's a good way of life, chances of you interrogating that are very slim, because now you are, passively going to live that life that you don't know. It's a life that my mother lived, so therefore I am also going to follow my mother's footsteps and to do what my mother did. There's something that my mom used to say, may her soul rest in peace. My mom used to say, you kids of today are so disrespectful, because when we talk, you talk back. If it was that time, in the past, I wasn't going to talk to my mother like that. My mother will take a pot and hit me with that pot before I even answer or talk back. But you, children of today, are talking back to your parents. So, I want you to tell me, do you see now that our parents have a past? And they also have their traumas. And because they didn't understand about this, they are carrying this past and the traumas to their own children. And their own children are carrying this to their own children. So, if my queen, you are not going to stop and interrogate, stop and find out, why am I behaving the way I do? Why am I this way? Why am I living this kind of life? Why am I unable to do certain things? Why am I finding myself where I am? Then you're not going to know where you come from. Hence, I'm saying, working from the grassroots, it's important if you want to understand a person. Because if you are only going to work from the surface, then chances of you knowing that person are very slim. So if you want to understand yourself and to know yourself better and to understand how you can navigate this life, you need to stop and interrogate things. You need to question things. Don't just take things from some family members because you think their behavior is a behavior that you can carry out. It's a good behavior. It's attractive behavior. Because that kind of behavior might be attractive and good for them, but not for you. Do you get what I mean? So, if you want to see who you are, to really understand your authentic self, you need not to copy others. You need to understand who you are without copying others. If there is a behavior from others that you admire, take it after you have interrogated it. Don't just adopt it and make it yours before you find out why this behavior. Why am I taking this behavior? Why am I, learning to be like this person? Why am I behaving like this person? Whether the person is your mother, your aunt, your neighbor. Why? Why is a very important question. Why are you behaving like that? Why are you wanting to be like them? So things that influence who we are comes from our close family, people that we live with. You need to learn that it's not a must to become who your mother was or who your mother is. Do that only if it's a good thing to do and you see that it can take you places, it can help you to transform your life. Because some behavior that we adopt from others become a stumbling block in our lives. You know why? Because you fail to interrogate it. You fail to question it. You just took the behavior, you acted the behavior, you become that behavior before you even question. So, such actions might cost you greatly. So, as a woman, it happened that you are confused about who you are because of these elements that I'm talking about. From my video 1 to video of today. So think about it. Think about it. Would you love your child, your girl child, to behave like you, to act like you, to have your characteristics, your traits? Will that be something that will please you? And why? Why? If it's up to your child to be like you, because she realized that your behavior is a good behavior that she can carry herself, and maybe transfer it to her own children, then it's up to her. But let it be a behavior that is going to be a behavior that is going to help her grow, is going to transform, to help her transform in her life. Some families are toxic. Some families are toxic, and most women have learned the toxic behavior from such families. And sometimes we're not even aware that we have learned this behavior. Sometimes we don't even know that this is a toxic behavior until someone tells you that your behavior is toxic and try to change it. And even if you hear that this behavior is not good, you're still fighting to hold on to that behavior because it comes from the family, and your family is a close family. It's your close, people that you have relations with. So changing your way from their way is not going to be easy. But that is something that can cost you. That is something that can rob you from knowing yourself as a person. Some women solve issues of life with violence, violent behavior, violent utterances. And sometimes you may wonder, but why am I like this? Why am I this way? It's because you never had a chance to look back. You never had a chance to think back. You never had a chance to interrogate the behavior. You accepted the behavior before you can even question it. And before you know it, you are acting it. Before you know it, you have become it. And sometimes it can get you in trouble. Most women are in trouble because of such behavior. Such behavior. But then, I'm not saying you should blame yourself. I'm saying you should find out. Find out. Don't just accept things the way they are without you finding out. Find out, why am I like this? Why am I hurting people? Why am I talking to people in such a way that hurts them? Why am I hating myself? Because sometimes it's you direct the behavior towards yourself. You direct actions towards yourself. You are causing self-harm to yourself because of what your family modeled, that you watched, and that you took and make it yours. So, it's very important to analyze your family, to see whether your families are struggling somehow with certain things that you have noticed. Because you might be the one helping your family as well. You might help women in the family and say, no, but I know, Mama, I know you grow up like this, but this is not the way. For your parents to hit you with a pot as a way of discipline, it's not the right way. So that's the reason why you have traumas. And you need not to do that to your own kids. You need not to continue with the behavior that your parents exhibited. Right? Someone needs to come in and stop the action, stop the behavior. Instead of carrying it out and carrying it to your own children, you have to stop it. Right? So, families are like our roadmaps. They help us to navigate life. Imagine what can happen if you are going somewhere and all of a sudden you get lost, right? And you have nowhere to find your road again. What's going to happen to you? It's up to you to continue walking the path, taking a different direction, or going back to where you come from. Because it is going to be safer for you when you lost it to go back instead of going the direction you don't know, or continuing with the road that you don't know where it's taking you, right? So, even life is like that. letting go of the behavior that you have learned from your family, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all, because you are familiar with their teachings, you are familiar with the environment, you are familiar with these faces that you know. And their teachings to you is going to be good always, no matter what. You will never, it's not going to be easy for you to see the wrong. So this is just like when you are lost and you are wondering whether you should proceed with the road or take another exit or go back to where you come from. So most of the time when we as women, when we are finding ourselves in challenges of life, we go back where we come from. We go to what we are familiar with. We're scared of leaving what we are familiar with and try new things. So it's very important to understand the family you come from. When you get married somehow, most people will say, before, or maybe your family as a woman will say, before you get married to this man, find out the family, find out what kind of family this man come from. What do you think they want? Why do you think they say that? Because now the family is going to become the mirror of who the man who wants to marry you is. And now they can help you make a decision whether you should marry this man or not, based on what the result of what they mirrored. So if you feel like you don't know yourself, you don't understand who you are, check your family out. Check your family out. Those are your mirror. They are you and you are them. And changing what you see in the mirror is not going to be easy. Sometimes you're just gonna carry on with what is happening, even when you know that it's wrong. But it's my family, what can I do? We had these talks most of the time. But it's my family, I cannot choose my family. True. You cannot choose your family, but you can change your family. If you can't change your family, you can change yourself. I'm not saying you can change your family by adopting another family. No, you can change your family by educating them about what's good, what's bad. If they don't want to listen to you, then you can change yourself, because if you can be able to help your family to see wrong from right or right from wrong, then that means you are able to change yourself. And changing yourself does not mean now walk away from your family. It's only situations that are very drastic, that are very severe, that will require you to walk away from your family. But most of the time, some situations you can handle, and you can learn how to separate yourself from your family, but still be with your family, because they are your family. So most women don't know themselves because they fail to know where they come from. And this is sad, because if you don't know where you come from, the kind of family that raised you, then you are likely to carry that to your own children. Do you see now how easy it is to transfer the toxic behavior from our parents to us, from us to our children? Simply because we don't know who we are. We don't know where we come from. This is a reason why it's important to know yourself. As much as knowing yourself sound like it's something that is very not important. Who doesn't know themselves? You know yourself because you know your name. You know what you do. You know your career. You know where you come from. You probably know where you're going. But you don't know yourself, the total of you that makes you who you are. You don't know your authentic self because a lot of things intervened. A lot of things cause disruption in you understanding who you are. And now it's time that we talk about this, because that time of women being confused, the women not knowing who they are, we need to do away with it. We need to claim back our power. We need to understand who we are on this earth. Like I say, God will never trusted you with the strength of giving you the huge responsibility of carrying a child for 9 months and bearing the pain of labor if you were not strong. So stop doubting your strength. Learn to understand who you are. It comes from there. Unfortunately, we cannot go around it. You need to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, chances of you succeeding in this life, it's not going to happen. Because there will be a lot of people who are going to tell you who you are. Do you remember? I don't know if you have an encounter on this one where your parents will teach you something and they will tell you that we are teaching you this because we don't want people from outside to teach you before we do. Do you see now how influential your family can be? The kind of mirror that your family help you to see yourself in. Before you go to the street, before you interact with the world, you interact with your family first. Your family put the first stamp of life in your life. Okay? So when other people, the world come to, continue where the family left off, the family already have done the work. So if the family have done a good work, then the world does not stand a chance. So now, you as a mother need to do that. Make sure that your children are going to get good teachings in your house, in your home, before the world teaches them. This is why we are talking about the family and yourself. How the family connect with the self, how the family connect with who you are, how the family can make you and break you, how the family can help you to identify yourself, how the family can help you to become the you that you want to become. And also, on the other side, how the family can break you if the foundation was not strong. And this is the reason why we see so many women are distracted. Don't know who they are. Don't know whether they're coming or they're going. It begins in the family. So, we always have to make sure as women that we raise strong girl children and boy children as well. Because if you can be able to teach your children from an early age how to carry themselves, what to do when they are confronted with situations of life, because life is not going to be rosy all the time. You need to teach them that. You need to teach them that there will be time where you are going to face challenges. There will be time where families are not going to be there for you. Sometimes when it's hard in your life, there's no one there. You need to learn how to survive on your own, my child. It's hard, but you can survive it. Teach your children how to navigate life. We are not in this life for happiness only. Life is a mix of happiness, sadness, joy, and not so much joyful experiences, unfortunately. And we have to know how to handle that. And it needs to start in the family, from the family. They need to be the first to put the print of understanding, the print of hope, the print of intelligence, the print of how to navigate life, the print of how to see yourself in a situation where life is not favorable on your side. What to do, what not to do, how to carry yourself. So these are problem-solving mechanisms that you need to learn and to teach your own children. If what you have learned from your family does not benefit you, does not lead you to anything good, lose it. Lose it. Just because there's attachment of you and that behavior or that action that you have learned from your family or you have learned from your mother does not mean you have to carry it and make it a burden that is going to be heavy on your shoulder just because you are now scared to lose it. No, lose it. It does not worth it. So families are important. Where you come from, tell us the kind of a person you are, whether we like it or not. Your behavior is going to mirror where you come from. If you are that woman who is unable to solve matters of life, then we know. And surely you have heard this. This woman was spoon-fed. This woman got things easy. That's why she cannot be able to solve anything. That's why she cannot be able to navigate life. So she was given everything on a silver platter. Gone are those days. Now she need to learn. Now she need to come to the real world. She need to learn how the world operates. Isn't that hard? So, if you are giving life skills to your children and you are also learning, the fact that your parents did not teach you life skills in such a way, or that kind of life skills that will help you navigate life, it doesn't mean you can fail also, or it doesn't mean you cannot continue where they left off. It's your duty as a woman to continue to learn. Why are you stopping? Why you stop learning? Why? When you go to town and you don't have a car, you take a taxi, right? When you have a car, you take your car, right? What do you take when you navigate life? Preparation. Skills. And that's why most women who cannot make it in life blame life. blame the people around them. But it's very rare that you hear a woman says, I blame myself because I didn't get a chance to educate myself, to have, to learn how to navigate this life. Like when you are in a boat and you are navigating the sea, you don't see, you can't tell me where is the corner when you are on the boat and you are right in the middle of the sea. You don't know where the sea starts, where is the corner. You only know the middle because you are in the middle, but you are willing to navigate it. So that's how life is. And also, life is perfectly, the sea is a perfect example of life because you don't know what's underneath the sea. Life is just like that. Today you are here, you are happy. Tomorrow you are there, you are sad. And now you have to navigate the sadness. You have to now learn how to move in a space that you are not familiar with. Because now life itself have taken you away from the familiar place of your parents, of your family, and it forces you. Life can coerce you to learn whether you like it or not. And that's where you're going to find yourself in most cases where life is unkind. Now, that's the reason why you are required of skills, life skills, on how to carry on in this life and not to give up. So, remember that everything that we are talking about on this channel is about women transformation, women development, women growth, and women empowerment. So everything that we are covering on these videos and another video to come and more videos to come, it's about helping you to be able to navigate life and to know who you are, your authentic self. Because it's only when you know who you are that you can be able to navigate life. So, let me thank you for watching my video, and please don't forget to subscribe because there's more to come. Okay? And we on this platform, we are transforming as women. We are now learning who we are. We are no longer going to take things that we hear from others about ourselves while we are standing aside and watching people writing our script. We are writing our own script, right? So let's do that together. Okay? So on our next video, we are still on part 1 and we are going to talk about relationships. We're talking about relationships and associates. How relationships can make you who you are and how relationships can break you. And how relationships can rob you of your identity, can rob you of knowing who you are, your authentic self. And how some relationships can also build you. So, let's meet on my next video. Thank you for watching my videos. And remember to subscribe and remember to come back for the third video. Okay? Thank you for watching.